Welcome to Unit 9.9, Volume of Right Prisms. Here is today's important vocabulary. A prism is a solid figure with bases that are parallel to each other and congruent, or the same, and sides that are rectangular. Here is a picture of a pentagonal prism. Both of the bases are made up of pentagons. Face, any of the flat sides of a prism. These are all faces of this prism. Now let's talk about how to find the volume of prisms. The formula that we're going to use today is A equals capital B times H. Capital B stands for the area of the base. If you remember yesterday, we talked about finding the area of the base by multiplying length times width. Another way to write this formula is this. Area equals length times width times height. Both of these formulas mean the same thing. First, we're going to practice by finding the volume of this prism. You will notice that they have already given us the area of the base, so we don't have to do this step right here. We are just going to do A equals B times H by multiplying the area of the base by the height of the figure. Our problem will look like this. 15 times 3 equals 45. Since feet is the unit that they've given us to use, we are going to write feet, and since we multiplied 15 feet squared times 3 feet, we are going to add a 3 for our exponent. Volume is always expressed with the exponent of 3. Next, we are going to find the volume of this prism. You will notice that its bases are made up of right triangles. Do you remember how to find the area for a triangle? In case you forgot, here is the formula for the area of a triangle. Area equals base times height divided by 2. The base of this triangle is 4 and the height is 4, so we are going to find the area of the bottom face first. Area equals 4 times 4 divided by 2. 4 times 4 is 16, and we still have to divide it by 2. So, the area of the triangle equals 8. Next, we need to multiply the area of the base by the height of the total figure, which is 6 centimeters. This will look like 8 times 6, which equals 48. Centimeters is our unit, and we're going to express it with an exponent of 3 because we multiplied base times width times height. 3 dimensions of a figure. Let's try one more example just for practice. This figure is unique. I am going to have to find the volume of 2 separate rectangular prisms and add the volumes together in order to find the total volume for this shape. One rectangular prism is found here, and one rectangular prism is found here in the back. First, I need to find the area of the base of this figure. 4 times 5 equals 20. I'm going to take 20 and multiply it by 5 because that is the height of this rectangular prism. 20 times 5 is 100, so the volume for this part of the rectangular prism is 100 centimeters cubed. Next, I am going to find the volume of the prism in the back. To find the area of the base, I am going to multiply 3 times 6, which equals 18. 3 is the width, and 6 is the length. Next, I'm going to take 18 and multiply it by a height of 5, because as we said earlier, 5 centimeters is the height of this figure. 18 times 5 is equal to 90. So the volume of the back rectangular prism is 90 centimeters cubed. Next, I need to take 100 centimeters cubed and add it to 90 centimeters cubed to find the volume for the entire figure. 190 is my answer, and 190 centimeters cubed is the volume of the entire figure. Let's do a little bit more practice with finding volumes of odd-shaped solids. First, we need to find the volume of this solid. It is 100 feet by 60 feet by 220 feet. The way I found 220 was I added 40 and 180, and that equals 220. When I multiply these three numbers together, I get 1,320,000. You will notice that my answer is expressed in feet cubed. Next, I have to find the volume of this prism over here. I am going to multiply 210 feet here by 60 feet, which is this distance here, and we find the information there, by 180 feet because that's how tall this prism is. Those three numbers multiplied together are 2,268,000 feet cubed. My last step for solving this problem is to add the answers of both of the problems I've already solved together. When I add 1,320,000 to 2,268,000, I get 3,588,000. This is my final answer for the volume of this entire figure. Next, we are going to find the volume of this prism over here. The first thing we are going to do is find the volume of a 2 by 2 by 2 prism. The pieces that we're going to use from this figure are these two right here, the height of 2 and the width of 2, and we're going to find the volume of that prism first. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So 8 cubic units is the volume of this figure. Next, we're going to find the volume of the 1 by 2 by 1 prism. Here is the 1, here is the 2, and here is the 1. It is 1 unit long, 2 units wide, and 1 unit tall. 1 times 2 times 1 is 2. So the total of this entire figure is 10 cubic units because 8 plus 2 equals 10. With this type of figure, if you can visualize the squares that fall in the back of the figure, you can almost just count the squares to find your volume. Here is today's practice problem. Solve the following problem on your paper. Show all work in the practice problem box. What is the volume of this figure? Don't forget to find the area of the triangle on the bottom first by using the formula A equals base times height divided by 2. Then multiply it by the total height of the figure to find your answer.